This is the Bison Football Show with Coach Matt Entz, hosted by Jeremy Jorgenson, and presented by Gate City Bank.
North Dakota State traveled all the way to the East Coast to face a traditional contender in the CAA, and NDSU demoralized Delaware with a pass rush performance that had the Blue Hens running for cover. NDSU is a sparkling 3-0 on the season. Here to talk about it, head coach Matt Entz, and congratulations to you and your staff on the win. That's a good win to go out east and play a CAA team and beat them like that on their field.
Oh, definitely excited. Our kids were able to handle the trip, our first flight. Or significant travel with the plane and all the variables that come with the logistics. But to go out there and play in front of a big crowd and to play well for the majority of the game was critical.
You know, it's business trip, and you can tell that with the kids, too. They treat it like that, don't they?
They do. We go through our itinerary. Our assistant coaches cover it. We try not to let any details go by the side or not be prepared for anything. And so our kids know what to expect and what the expectations of our program is.
Let's roll the first half from Delaware. I thought they had a pretty nice crowd. It was a little hot, humid. It was a little different climate than we're used to. And there was some adversity early in the game, wasn't there?
There was. They did a great job. Our operation time wasn't good. They brought a second-level player that was able to get the punt block, and all of a sudden, before you know it, we're down 2-0.
Yep, defensively, boy, you get Pat Kehoe on third down. He makes mistakes. He did it in the Dome last year. He does it again early in this game.
This is first throw of the game, and we were able to get a pick. Michael Tutsi again, joking with him last week, said he owed me one, and there we got it.
You know, Tyler Roll on the play calling, he was hitting him on the edge early and often.
They struggled to defend the power sweep in some of our perimeter run game. Their safeties jumped down. We did a nice job of blocking the perimeter with our backs and receivers.
Kobe's a smaller back, but he's getting some goal line carries here.
He is. He's smaller in stature, but he runs big. And situations like that, he can be effective.
You know, their offensive line, they just weren't getting the job done, and you could pin your ears back with that pass rush early.
We did early. We got them off schedule. We got them in a lot of second and longs, third and longs, and let our pass rushers do some work.
Yeah, no doubt. Tuska, Wagey, getting to the quarterback, that was outstanding. And, special teams had the miscue early, but you got a good return from Trevor Height, and that set up the offense in a nice position here.
It did. And again, great pitch and catch to Phoenix Sproles. Their corners were playing off in their quarters concept, and that field throw was open majority of the day.
This has to be a big confidence booster for Griffin Crosa. This is a long field goal.
It was into a little bit of a wind, and he hit it 46.5 yards and able to make it there.
You know, the special teams continue to be the story early. They hit a big return here on this one.
We did. We didn't do a good job levering the football, and those are things that we got to continue to rep. And you can see us right there. Just our internal guys covering the kick just didn't do a good job, but great effort by Garrett Wegner.
You know, Jackson Hankey's the middle guy, but I'll tell you what, he's an athlete too, and he does a good job across the middle here.
Does a nice job of hook and swat technique that we utilize all the time and being able to defend the pass.
You know, you force a field goal, that's always big to keep him out of the end zone.
We routinely talk to our defensive guys that field goals will not get you beat in critical games.
I thought third down was pretty big in this game. This is a 3rd and 9, great play call.
It is. They were pinning their ears back, and we were able to show a little gap protection and hit the gap screen, and nice play, a nice finish by Adam Cofield.
Yeah, it really was 17-5 at that point. And again, Jabril Cox out in the flats defensively, outstanding.
He continued to make more plays and playing through the football and playing through the hands of the receivers. That's a big-time play for him. Same
story for Marquise Bridges, right through contact here.
Yep. Guys playing tight coverage and our defensive staff and Coach Braun putting those guys in positions to be successful.
Did you expect to blitz a lot during the game, or did that evolve during the first quarter?
I think it evolved. We just saw the pressure that we could get on the quarterback in situations and knew we could create some one-on-one mismatches.
Trey Lance, when he rolls out, he can really throw a nice ball on the run.
He does. And again, great catch by Christian Watson and Trey just spreading the ball around to all these receivers and backs.
Yeah, fullback Garrett Malmstrom, he showed some good hands recently.
He does. We need to learn how to avoid all that contact. Don't want to land on our head too often.
Yeah, that was a little helicopter there. Chip shot field goal. It's 20-5. It was big to create some separation here early, wasn't it?
It was. They were a good football team going into it. They had a big win last week, and so we knew we needed to be ready to go.
Linebackers up the middle on that blitz.
That was a good internal pressure. Good call, and they struggled to pick it up, and a good finish.
The deep ball touch that Trey Lance has, impressive, and he and Phoenix have a little chemistry.
They do. They're really good friends. They're together all the time. And he put it only where Phoenix could catch it, and that was a big play for us.
Tight ends have been huge in the red zone this year, haven't they?
Again, I think those guys have an unwritten rule or deal somewhere that they're going to catch all the touchdown passes.
Yeah, they find a way to get open in the back of the end zone. Very, very impressive. So that's the first half, a very impressive first half for the Bison. On the scoreboard, 27-5. Look at the total yards. I mean, Delaware had nothing going offensively on our Nodak Insurance scoreboard. 29 total yards of offense, and third down was big. 0 for 7 for the Blue Hens in the first half. Before we get to the second half, let's get to know Derek Tuska a little bit.
This is Would You Rather with the 2019 Bison, presented by Gate City Bank.
Would you rather go fishing or hunting?
Ooh, that's a tough one. If it's archery hunting, definitely archery hunting.
Okay. Would you rather go skydiving or cliff diving?
I haven't done either, but I'd probably have to say skydiving.
Would you rather go camping or stay in a hotel?
Camping for sure.
Would you rather shovel snow or swat mosquitoes?
Well, if I'm swatting mosquitoes, hopefully it's because I'm out fishing or something, but shovel snow.
Okay. Would you rather swim in a pool or a lake?
Lake for sure.
Would you rather drive or fly when you're going somewhere?
Fly, definitely.
Would you rather walk 10 miles or go to the dentist?
I'll go to the dentist. It's not too bad.
Would you rather bite your tongue while eating or step on a Lego?
I don't know. I'd probably have to say Lego.
Would you rather sit on a beach or a cruise ship?
Beach.
Would you rather confront an alligator or a bear?
Probably a bear.
Would you rather be thirsty or hungry?
I'd have to say hungry.
Yeah. Would you rather sit in a tractor or an office all day?
Tractor. Definitely.
Would you rather watch a movie at home or go to a theater?
Movie at home. I'm not much of a theater guy myself.
Would you rather drink coffee or juice in the morning?
Probably juice.
Would you rather own a fancy house or a fancy vehicle?
House.
Coach, what was the message at halftime with the lead you had?
Well, I was probably a little frustrated with some of the special team miscues at that time. We had the punt block, and of course, they gave up the big return. So we needed just to make sure that we were doing the things that we had worked on all week at practice. But and then the second to last series offensively, we didn't do a great job. It was first and goal, and we settled for a field goal. And I just thought, that's not who we are and what we want to do. We want to finish every series in the red zone with a touchdown. So challenged our guys to continue to execute. Don't look at the scoreboard. We're a process-oriented program. We need to continue to go out there and execute.
That's great stuff. Let's roll the second half here at Delaware. The Bison had a big lead in the first half, and just like the first half, everyone was meeting at the quarterback to start the third quarter here. The blitzing continued.
We did. We got them in a one free here. They turned Jabril and Spencer Wagey loose. And again, it was a good first series, 3 and out, I believe.
Offensively, 10 different receivers for Trey, and Jimmy Kapuris got involved. That was nice.
Jimmy had 2 big catches for us. So here was the first one coming across the middle on just kind of a dig concept. And then the second one just on one of our play actions, a check down, to be able to catch it and gain some positive yards. Big day for him.
Noah Gindorf, he's got 3 touchdowns, 1 in every game now. Here's another one, and just tremendous athletic ability.
Well, he has a DB hanging on his back shoulder. He one-hand catches it. And I joked with him, there's a reason why we recruit these high school all-star basketball players.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to try to box out Noah when he was playing basketball in high school, that's for sure. This is where Delaware switched to the dual-threat quarterback. They started to run the football a little bit.
They did. They had some, you see us miss a tackle. We lose the cup. There's some things defensively we can continue to work on. We can't have letdowns like this. We need to still continue to execute.
What types of runs were these that they were having success
Just zone scheme, similar stuff that we were seeing early. And so I'm putting it more on our guys, less on what Delaware was doing, and just on us executing the plays. Nice tackle and able to hold them to a field goal on this drive.
That's big. And Dawson, he did some things. He ran a guy down on a long play and makes that tackle right there. He did some things on Saturday.
He did a great job stepping into the starting role. And I don't know if you really could tell a big difference in our execution between having James in there or Dawson.
Yep, no doubt. They had a couple of explosive plays here in the fourth quarter. Here's one of them, a 59-yard run, and this is where Dawson runs them down.
Couple missed tackles again up on the line of scrimmage, and You see great pursuit out of our guys, preventing a score. But, again, reason why we're going to go back to practice on Monday.
You know, Nolan Henderson was the dual threat guy, and he did show some things. He gave him a little bit of a spark in the game.
He did. He was able to extend plays, find people downfield, and so he did a nice job coming in a situation that could have been tough.
They got the 2-point conversion. It's 33-16. Kobe Johnson went to work then. He knows how to use his blockers well.
Just a little misdirection play, and Kobe has great speed and able to turn this into a big run for us.
Yeah, this was a big answer, too. It's 33-16 and 5 plays, and you're back in the end zone again.
Yep. Rams up front doing a great job. Offensive staff continued to have a great plan, and Tyler Roll did an outstanding job calling the game on Saturday.
40-16 at that point. You know, what is the dynamic with the dual threat, too? It is a different mentality from a defensive lineman perspective when you know the quarterback can run.
We do. We got to stay on our feet. Like here you see Cole Cars leaving his feet in the pass rush. Just run through the quarterback. We have a better chance of being successful.
And on 3rd and 10, he was keeping plays alive a little bit here. This was a 3rd and 10 play where he just very elusive.
He is elusive. Coverage breaks down. And all of a sudden, when your pressure doesn't get home like you like it, you have issues.
What happened on this play with the coverage? He gets a deep ball here.
Cover 2, we can't. Our half safety can't let anyone get behind him, and again, we're all watching the quarterback scramble rather than playing coverage. So just lack of focus. We got to continue to eliminate distractions and get better.
They missed the 2-pointer, so it's 40-22, so still a 3-possession game at this point. And then you just lean on them a little bit with the young backs here.
We did. Sabian Clark running hard. Kobe running hard. Great to see those guys getting out there and getting positive experience.
You know, coming up here, we're going to talk about it as we get another Kobe run, but a field goal situation comes up. Talk about the thought process on faking this field goal right here.
Well, we had seen the look all week long as we were in prep. They were showing a 7-4 box. It had been there, and we had given the holder, Garrett, the permission to call it, and so he saw the look, and we utilized it at that time to keep our offense on the field and get a big first down.
Sabian getting the end zone, that's got to be good for him.
It is. Continue to develop his confidence. He's got to continue to work on running behind his pads.
No doubt. There you meet Coach Rocco at midfield, and the Bison get a road win against the CAA. That's a big win for the Valley when you look at the conference perspective of it, 47-22. The total yards, the Bison great on offense, 490. Rushing yards, Delaware got a lot of those late. There's no doubt about it in the fourth quarter there. The Bison did a great job against the run on our NODAC Insurance scoreboard. Let's hear what the players had to say after the game.
I thought that was a big change in momentum. Like you said, after the safety, being able to get that and get the momentum on our side at the beginning of the game, and I felt like we started rolling after that, so I thought that was huge.
We've been trying to get after the quarterbacks, but they've been doing 3-step and then just getting rid of the ball quick. We knew eventually they're going to have to hold it, so it feels good when we can actually get after them and get hits on the quarterback.
I have a huge amount of trust in those guys. And when I'm in and I hear that run play call, I'm just excited to get it done because I know that the guys up front are going to get a push for me.
You hate to see it, but in a win like that, being able to see prove a point essentially, where we got to finish games, we can't just get complacent there.
Great comments by the players. There were a couple of candidates for player of the game. Again, true freshman Kobe Johnson rushed for over 100 yards. But, folks, the Bison quarterback continues to be a difference maker.
The player of the game, presented by NODAC Insurance Company.
We will talk about his stats through 3 games in just a minute. But, folks, Trey Lance has burst onto the FCS scene like a freight train. From intangibles to athletic ability, he has it all working. He once again controlled the game by using all of his assets, including patience early when the team faced early adversity.
I think just being at NDSU, learning from the seniors last year, like we're just confident on the sideline, whether we're down or up. The whole game I didn't ever feel like, we were not going to win, pull out a win. Offensive line just dominated the whole game.
Composure at quarterback's a big deal. They get the safety early, and, on the sidelines, Trey was very composed, and he learned a lot of that from Easton, didn't he?
He did. And I think then the other person you have to acknowledge is Coach Hedberg.
Yeah, no doubt.
Coach Hedberg does an unbelievable job of teaching these guys how to handle their emotion and to approach the game. And so I think that's a big part of it as well.
You know, Trey's just getting started, but it is alarming to look at his stats. Very, very impressive. He hasn't turned the ball over. 9 passing touchdowns, 13 total passing touchdowns. Leads the nation in points he's responsible for with 78. That's number 1 in the country. And that completion percentage, what most do you like about those numbers right there?
Well, the number one thing that I see is that it's all about the football, and we haven't turned the ball over yet. And we put a heavy emphasis on that throughout fall camp and every week in practice. So Trey's doing a great job of taking what the defenses are giving him, making the easy throws, and continue to keeping the ball moving and staying ahead of the chains.
Yeah, he and Coach Roll have a great rhythm. On the defensive side, this game was all about the blitz, the D-line, the pass pressure, and what was the plan going in? You mentioned it a little bit. But as the game evolved, you really took what they were giving you.
Well, we did. We got great pressure with 4 early. There's a great, strip by Brendan Cook, a young man that came and traveled with us. But then we knew we could try to get after him a little bit with some different pressures, some different coverages. So it was a good day. And Coach Braun and defensive staff put together an excellent plan to handle both Kehoe and Henderson at the quarterback position.
Yeah, and the rotations defensively, you're getting some guys some reps too. The Beaglers of the world are playing, and some guys are getting some playing time early in these 3 games.
Oh, definitely. And those guys are making plays as well. So that's what's probably more exciting is guys we have the number of different players that are involved in plays for us.
Well, James Hendricks was not in this game as we go through the injury report a little bit, and Dimitri Williams not available. Any updates on the status of these 2 guys and other guys that have some dings and dents?
Both these players traveled with us. I anticipate both of them being back on the practice field this week. Look forward to having them both back. They're both excellent football players, and their leadership is critical for this team.
Yeah, no doubt. Good to see James on the trip, and sure he'll be ready to go, itching to get back out there, no doubt. You put together a great coaching staff, some good young coaches. We're going to get to know a little bit of those guys and get to know them more. Stay with us. While this coaching staff is 3-0, a lot of new parts have come together in a short amount of time. After 3 games, it was kind of fun to catch up with the new coaches and get their perspective about how things are done at NDSU.
Today's Bison football feature story is presented by Olaf Anderson Construction.
Coming from the Big Ten, I knew this place was really an exciting environment.
It's been about 9 months since several of the new Bison assistant coaches have been on staff here in Fargo. Now, while they've been told stories of the passionate fan base NDSU has or seen it from opposing sidelines, their first friendly experience with it was a unique opportunity at Target Field.
Kind of see the build up of that through the course of that week, and then you get down to Minneapolis and you walk in the hotel and you see the amount of Bison fans that are down there. The streets seem like we're just filled with green and gold.
I've been blown away so far. Target Field is a pretty special experience to open up the season there in front of 34,000 fans, which was pretty cool. And
then the group got the experience of the tunnel walk at the Fargo Dome.
Man, goosebumps. Goosebumps. Just you kind of put yourself in the shoes of the players, and just take yourself back to your days of playing college football, and pretty neat atmosphere for our players to be a part of.
It was awesome. It was everything we thought it would be. It's a heck of a lot more fun to be on this side of the sidelines than the other side, and I can speak from experience. So,
Coach Blazek came over to me and tapped on me and said, hey, we got to take our headsets off for this. This is something that's pretty special.
The coaches all know it's not just them and the players. They also say the administration, from President Brashani to Director of Athletics Matt Larson, has been first class to them as they've made the transition to coaching in Fargo.
As far as ranking it where I've been, they're as good as anybody I've been around. And came from a great crew. The administration at Rutgers was super people. But what they've done here is that something special.
I've been fortunate. The places I've worked, I've always felt like we've had an administration that is diligent and works hard, but it's different here.
I think the biggest thing to me has been it's outside of just Matt Larson. I think it's support staff. It's people in our academics, and just their level of willingness to want to help, whether they're directly involved with football on that day or just, they want to be involved with it.
For the Bison Football Show, I'm Alex Egan.
Those guys are enjoying themselves, aren't they? And they've added a lot to the staff.
They have. They're all doing a great job, and great coaches, great mentors, good people. It's been fun to see those guys have the experience of being part of the Bison Nation.
Coach Braun was at UC Davis. He probably has a little perspective on the Aggies for this week.
He does. I think he probably has a little bit of idea of some of the personnel He was there just a couple months with the current head coach, and so I know this will be a fun week for him.
No doubt. Well, back to the defensive line again for our look into the future. And strength coach Jim Kramer is licking his chops with this one, a big defensive lineman who loves the weight room.
The future crop of Bison, presented by Peterson Farms Seed.
Javier Darrett was the Kansas 5A Defensive Player of the Year, and he physically does not look like a freshman. Most kids in the defensive line have a transition period physically. That has not been an issue with Darrett.
In my high school coach, and for football, he really was big on, getting guys in the weight room. We lifted 3 times a week, throughout the whole year anyway. So, I wouldn't say the transition was necessarily easy, but it made it a lot more comfortable for me to come into a program where we were always constantly, lifting and working our bodies.
Bright future for the big man.
Oh, he's going to be a really good football player. He got a couple snaps in down at Target Field, which I think was critical for him, just to kind of open his eyes to what it's like to play FCS football. But he's been a big part of our scout team, does a great job down there. I know Tyler Roll, A.J. Blazik, Dan Larson, all those guys continually comment about the quality of young guys, not just character-wise, but also their ability to play football. So the future is bright in the defensive line room.
No doubt. Well, buckle up, folks. A top 5 matchup with UC Davis. We'll talk about it. Stay with us. Well, in our Verizon look ahead, this was the crown jewel of this year's non-conference schedule. The UC Davis Aggies, Dan Hawkins, a veteran coach, good football team, top 5 team. This is a big-time matchup.
It will be. Yeah, it's going to be critical. We're going to need the Dome to be rocking. They're a team that's going to throw a lot of RPOs, use some inside zone. We're going to have to be ready to defend a number of plays. I'm sure there's some tempo in there defensively. And we need to establish the line of scrimmage offensively so we can continue to win that time of possession.
All right, Bison Nation, we need you out there this week. Be loud. The Bison are 3-0. Of course, NBC North Dakota will have the coverage for you. The Bison Radio Network will be fired up as well. And the Dome will be fired up. We need those fans out there, and we need you loud this week. UC Davis, a good football team. We'll see you next time. Have a good week.